What's up, guys? It's your boy King David, and I'm back at it with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about SR, the journey, and a couple other things, and we'll get right into it. And we'll talk about a couple things here. So, I was starting to realize that SR is it's something that it works, but at the same time you have to understand why you should be doing it, right? Because it's not meant for everybody, and there's different levels and different things that you can do and implement to get the benefits out of it. Now, you could be like a really pure person. I feel like the purest is the hard mode when you do semen retention. Semen retention is it's the extreme, right? And then there's the hard mode, no fap, which would be hard mode, no fap. Then there's regular no fap, and it depends on what level you are. I would say I gravitate more towards hard mode, no fap, except not quite, because I still look at the girls on Instagram. I'm a man, but eventually I think once you get far enough into each department, you get a realization of the benefits of all of them. So you get this realization that when you're watching that stuff, right, you're maybe not objectifying a girl completely, but you're looking at a girl that you're probably not going to see on the street, and she's wearing something kind of risque. So you're not really seeing that every day, right? As you walk around, what do you normally see? You see girls that are normal shape. Now, the Instagram girls, they got this voluptuous bodies or whatnot, right? And that's what you're attracted to. Or maybe you're attracted to, a more slim, fit girl. And that's fine, whatever, there's nothing wrong with any of this. But you don't want to be thirsty. There's too many guys who are thirsty out here. Now, it's okay to look because you're a man. You're gonna look. If you see a beautiful woman, you're gonna look at her. But you want to get to the point where you're just talking to her one on one, you're speaking to her soul, in a way, right? And when you're watching that stuff, it's not so good, I think the best way to do it, in my opinion, and with my journey and what I do, is to not watch, obviously, the corn, guys. Don't watch that stuff. Don't watch, I've said it in other videos, but I usually like to say corn because it's a little bit more PG, and that's makes sense, right? Don't watch that stuff because it warps your mind. There's certain things that you would expect from your partner that you won't get in real life, and you have this fantasy, and you're chasing after a fantasy effect instead of chasing after your goals and your life goals and stuff. So realize that this stuff is a lot of it is made up. Some of it is more authentic than other, but a lot of it's made up. So I would say the best thing to do is get rid of that. That's the number one, is get rid of that stuff. That stuff is it's toxic to the mind. There's plenty of studies now that shows that it does damage to the mind if for extended periods, if you watch it for a long time. So it's best to just leave it be. Now, if you want to look at girls on the internet and you're looking at them, but they're fully clothed in, Instagram posts and stuff. That's a bit different. It's a lot less, dopamine that you're getting, because you're still getting a dopamine hit, but you want to get your dopamine hits from more natural things, like being outside in the park, walking around, working out, sunlight, fresh water, just good time, good vibes. You're not drinking nothing, you're not smoking nothing, and you're just living life, guys. So I did pick up something today. This is a vaporizer. It's called Ripple. Ripple with a plus sign. And it has no nicotine. It's natural, organic. Pretty cool, man. Like, it's a pretty cool little like alternative, because like I've been smoking the blacks, and I decided to just say, you know what, I'm done with them, because I don't really smoke. Like, I'm not a big smoker to begin with, guys. Like, I occasionally might, hit a black and mild here and there to get like a little bit of a buzz to calm me down, especially on long streaks. But I don't really like to smoke. Like, smoke's not, like, I used to smoke a lot of weed in the past, guys. Like, I used to smoke a crap ton of weed, but I stopped smoking over a couple years ago. So it was making me sick, so I decided to quit on the weed smoking. But this is cool, it's a natural. I got this one. It's to mango, green tea and mango. It's pretty cool. It's got like a little, like, if you can see there, it's got that like strip. That's not showing you how much is in there. It's just like it's just colored strip. It's kind of cool. It's flat. It's really sleek. If you can see there, it's really a sleek device, which is nice. You just hit this a couple times, and instead of smoking on something and smelling like smoke all the time, it's kind of gross. But yeah, I want to get back into why, the retention and, what levels, I spoke on, NoFap. I spoke on semen retention in the past videos. And here's the thing, semen retention is very close to being like a monk, almost, like being celibate, but it's not. Like, you can still be with girls and do semen retention, but like, if you're gonna do semen retention, you're like in a whole nother field as compared to NoFap. Because NoFap is like, you're still gonna release, but you're gonna release with your girl. And NoFap hard mode NoFap hard mode is like no Instagram girls, no videos, no nothing. Don't even try to think about anything, sexual up here in the mind. And me, I feel like I'm on just a basic level NoFap, guys. Like, I would say a little bit more on the hard mode side than because like there's variations to everything in life. I'd say I'm more on the hard mode. Like, I'd get with a girl, I would still release. Like, I think that's more natural. But then, it's more natural, but at the same time, it's kind of not in ways. And you gotta like think of it like this: it takes energy to rebuild your sperm, guys. So when you're releasing a lot, it affects you. It affects your body. It affects the way you speak, and it affects how you interact with people and stuff like that. Your energy is not going to be as high, because I guess you would think of sperm as matter, and the more matter you carry, the more it travels up your brain. There's so much deepness to it, but with the studies that they have out, it's not really going to correlate to real life thing, because it's like the studies say that you you can retain, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong. Nothing will go wrong. But then again, like you will, like your prostate automatically gets larger as you age, right? And when you get older, it's going to be a lot. It gets larger and larger and larger. And when you release, you're working the muscle out to some degree, but you can also work that muscle out through exercise and things like that. But what you could do is you can get prostate cancer if you're older and you're retaining, because you're just it's like a container and you're filling it up. And eventually, some of it's not going to all be healthy, and because you're older, and you can get probably prostate cancer from it. But there's so many factors involved. It's not just it could be diet, it could be air quality, it could be all sorts of different things. It could be where you work, you touch some cancerous thing. And like my dad, he got cancer because he was smoking too much cigars and smoking too many cigarettes and stuff. And me, I've never really been a big tobacco smoker. So like I said, occasionally I might hit a black and mild, but even then I just never really liked it too much. I don't like the smell. I don't like the smoky smell on me. It's a gross kind of like gross smell to it. So even weed, it has like, when you stop smoking weed, like you notice like it has like a weird like stench. You have like a weird funky stench to you, and then it comes out your pores and stuff. And like people you don't get it until you stop. And once you stop, you're like, yeah, I see. You gotta detox yourself from this stuff. Now this thing, is cool because it's natural, organic. I like organic stuff to begin with, so it's pretty cool. And get back to the retention. Me, I ramble and I get all over the place and stuff. And there's things that you could take for the prostate and whatnot called Pygum. It helps to regulate your prostate, the gland, and the fluids and stuff, and it helps to rebuild them and things like that, or rebuild the fluids. Here's the thing, guys. With retention, there's not much evidence. It's a lot of bro science. It's a lot of some guy saying this works, this doesn't work, this works, this doesn't work. So you gotta experiment on yourself and think what really works. It's hard to do it. I think if we were to do more studies, like actual real scientific documents, but science in itself is not all the way factual. So there have to be more studies. There's probably still studies going on, but they don't really correlate to mostly fertile men. So if you're like a large, they should do a large group, right, of like 300 men that are all fertile, and take semen samples over the periods of 30 to 90 days, and see like the difference between testosterone levels, and do various tests to see if it really makes a difference or whatnot. Because there's a lot of stuff that they say that like to a basic, like just common sense, it makes sense. Like you lose bone marrow, you lose calcium, you lose vitamin K, you lose vitamin A, you lose blood. Obviously you're gonna lose DNA, you're gonna lose like a lot of these things. And like to a common sense, it makes sense. When you release, you're releasing essence of you, but at the same time, does it carry like that much, and to what degree? And I think this is what I think, because every time I've been on the streaks, guys, and I'm gonna do another streak here. Like I got a day tracker. Sorry, guys. I got this day tracker called Titan Track, Ross based. He makes retention videos, and he has this new app which is pretty cool, guys. And it's like $8 a month, and you could buy the year or you could buy the month, and then it tells you the lunar phases, and it goes into depth on what's actually happening. What I've noticed when I'm on retention, I feel stronger. I feel like I'm denser. Like my muscles are denser. I'm not as fluffy. I feel how can I put it? You just feel healthier. You move through life a little bit easier. Like you get up, you're not doing that, so you get up and you do something else besides that, and you feel pure. I feel like that's the biggest thing. You feel very pure to a degree, especially if you're not drinking. Like when I went longest streak, I said was 2 months, so 60 days, guys. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't doing anything. I was just meditating, reading books, just taking care of myself, eating healthy, working out. And when you get into that flow state, working out, healthy eating, taking the right supplements, dude, you're gonna just be shining everywhere you go. But that doesn't mean that and the women attraction is real, because you're holding a lot of sexual energy, guys. You're holding a lot of like pent up, not even gonna say, I shouldn't say pent up energy. You're just holding a lot of energy. But I think the one thing that I don't understand, and not understand, one thing I think about is how long should you retain for, because some people, they're like, retain for life. It's like, okay, retain for life, but is that realistic, right? Other people are like, retain for a week, retain for a month, retain for 3 months. Okay, I get what you're saying. I think retention should be a lifestyle, but it's not something that should be practiced all the time. Because it should to some degree. Like you should definitely get away from the P out of the PMO. I think that's like the biggest separation. Like watching, a guy conquer a woman on a screen is just too much, man. It's not good to be watching that all the time. The M, masturbation is fine. I think that's normal to some degree. Now, if you're overdoing it, okay, yeah, you should probably stop for a little while. And an orgasm is probably is pretty bad too, because you're losing vitamins and minerals and stuff like that every time you release. So it's good, but it's bad. All three are good but bad. There's good in even the pea part, the corn. There's even good there too, because you got to understand that not all of it is bad. Not all of it is some crazy stuff you would be watching. But I think the pea is probably the worst, because it draws you into wanting more and more and more and more and more. And then, you're looking for a stronger dopamine hit. And then you're objectifying women more. So if you take that out, and then you take out the M, if you take out those, that's fine. You could take out the P and the M and still orgasm if you're getting with girls. You know, that's pretty healthy. Once you take away the O2, the PMO, you take all three away. I mean, you're very pure. You're just becoming a pure being at that point. So, but I don't think it should be for so long, guys, because it doesn't make too much sense in a way. Like, you're gonna release, whether it be at night through a mission, a wet dream, or you're gonna release, you know, with a woman. I think the whole idea of it all is when you release, see how you feel. You know, because when you feel bad and you're not feeling like good and you're beating yourself up for it, that's bad. You're like, guys, don't beat yourself up for any of the things. Like, people go through these things in their lives, and it's, you know, it's natural to some degree. You know, there's so much of it, and it's easy to be pulled in to a dark hole. So don't let yourself be pulled into this dark dimension. Allow yourself to you know, be free from it all. Next video, I'm gonna talk about some spiritual stuff. So, you know, stay in tune. I'm probably going to just talk about my journals instead of making books, because I mean, eventually I'll make the books and have more detail. But for right now, I'm just going to talk about what's on my journals, and you guys will get like a first hand on, you know, what I'm going through and what I've been through. So, peace out, guys. Enjoy your days. Have a good one.